Hello and welcome to the program Hot Button. There is always this air of romance when two people come together and then you see the guy on his knees raising a ring to the lady. Proposal. Everybody carries a smile when it happens around them, even if it doesn't affect you. It is such a beautiful moment in the life of every couple. And we want to know how that affects a relationship. My name is Johnny and I have with me in the studio
Dozie
and
Divine.
Welcome to the program.
It's good to be here, Johnny.
Today's topic, we are looking at proposing to a partner. Now, I was waiting to see that smile because it's something that everybody looks forward to. You understand? It is that point where you begin to say, oh, this relationship is winding up for good. Am I correct?
Yes.
It's like that particular climax of, stepping into
The next stage.
the next stage of your life. Now, does proposal really matter if two people are in love?
Definitely.
Okay.
I think it does, because it needs to be defined what is
Okay.
going on exactly. Proposal is a plan that is suggested to one person to
Okay.
discuss upon and to decide.
Mm.
So it has to be said so that there is this definite knowledge that, okay, this is what's about to happen.
Mm.
Understand?
Okay.
I feel that it definitely matters.
It matters.
Yeah.
Okay, let me hear from you, Divine.
Well, it matters because, like he said, it is something that you have to discuss and plan with your partner. And in this day and time, it is only reasonable to give it that title that, okay, this is what we're doing now. This is where we are in this stage of our relationship.
Okay.
So that, because I cannot be giving you wife duties or you giving me husband duties and then we're not targeting anything. But when we know, oh, we're working towards a marriage, our marriage is in the next 1 year.
Let me get that straight. How do you know, like, our marriage is in the next 1 year? You know the duration, and then what's the point?
Well,
If we have said we are going to get married, what's the point having a proposal?
I feel that when the relationship is going on, like I said, it should be said, it should be
Okay.
defined. And then the rates at which it is going, there should be some sort of inkling that, okay, we are dating for the intention
Okay.
of getting married.
Okay.
Understand? So that's genuinely what I feel. I feel that when that time comes, it shouldn't be much of a surprise.
Okay.
It shouldn't be much of a surprise, because
Okay.
if you're dating with the intention of getting married, you're sure that you're going to get married to this person. It should come as a surprise, because what should surprise you rather is the fact that you're realizing that you're stepping into another level. Once that question is popped, you know that once you say yes or no,
Okay.
it's a decision. But if you say yes, you know that, okay, this is what's going to happen next.
Yeah. Another phase just opens
exactly
up.
my
Okay.
point.
That means it matters.
It matters. It has to be said.
Because
It has to be defined.
from what you're saying now, it takes you to that realization where you say, I have left this level
And stepping
and
into
I'm
another one.
heading to a higher level.
Exactly.
Wow. But many people have wondered, for how long should it take before I propose? Do you think it matters how long a relationship lasts before proposal is done?
no, I don't. I don't feel like the relationship should have lasted for a year or two before
Okay.
you propose. Because you can see somebody you like and in 6 months' time, you are sure that this is who you want to spend the rest of your life with. It could even be less. And then you could have been with somebody for 6, 10, 7 years of your life and you propose and it doesn't work out at the end of the day.
Wow. Life.
Yeah. True.
Okay. Let me hear from you.
I also feel it depends.
Okay.
Actually depends, like she said. It could be less than what she said. With time, people reveal themselves. I feel like you really need to take your time to know your partner before you propose.
Okay.
That's why I feel sometimes the time itself matters. It's very
Okay.
vital, because
Time matters.
time matters.
Okay.
Exactly, because there's sometimes that when you get to know your partner might not truly reveal.
True self.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And I don't think someone can keep up an act for a very long time. There is one moment that you will slip up.
Okay.
And then that moment you have to take a mental note and say, okay, should I give this a thought? Should I, you know, tackle this matter before we move on to the next stage?
So you have to be ready to give it time.
Exactly.
And you're saying it doesn't really matter.
agree.
Okay, talk to me about
because if somebody slips up in a relationship, there's something called benefit of doubt.
Okay.
The person might have done something really bad, really heavy, but you're giving the person benefit of doubt because this is my babe, this is whoever this is to me.
Okay.
I will not just put an end to what we have been working on because of this mistake. And then the whole people cannot hide themselves for a long period of time. I don't see it as something that works because people can pretend. You can be too in love with the person to overlook
notice.
Majority of the things, and then your mind is not even there. You just, this person, I want this person, that is all I know. So people can pretend, you might be blindsided or whatever, and you will not see all those things still. Most of the time, women that get beaten by their husbands, it's not as if they've not started seeing all these signs during the relationships, but they overlook it.
Or they are hopeful that he would
or
change.
they are hopeful that he would change and whatnot. But then when he enters the relationship and starts to hit them, so now I'm like, oh, I don't know where this thing started from. Or sometimes the man could also not be giving you signs that he's going to hit you. And one day, it might not even be something he's used to doing. Or let's say during the marriage, something comes up and then he starts acting out like that.
And that's the dynamism of human emotions.
Yes, and then he starts hitting you. So what then happens?
Yeah, that's the thing about human emotions. You cannot calculate, you cannot predict.
Okay.
So that's why when she said most of the time, keep in mind she said most of the time. It's not all the time.
Okay.
Not everyone is the same.
Okay.
You understand me? So there is a tendency that once a person slips up, you have to calculate and say, okay, I need to tackle this matter before we move on. You don't just sometimes I choose not to overlook, because if you overlook, it might come up at some other time.
Okay.
And
so
maybe
in your word, you say take a mental note of that thing.
And that's some other time I talked about just now. Could be when the marriage has already happened.
Okay.
And then when the marriage has already happened, I mean, it is done already. The marriage is set in stone.
It's settled, yeah.
Exactly. So you want to prevent such from happening before the marriage. That is why I said you have to take a mental note.
Okay, so
exactly.
Meaning there has to be enough time to know somebody. And you're saying enough time is a safe time so that you get to see the things, your good side, your bad side, all of these things have to be noted. And you are saying it doesn't really matter if you have seen because there are people who would not even mind that length. They can psychoanalyze you within a short space of time and then they feel they know you. And then they could go in. It doesn't mean most times when you take your time, the relationship will be successful. And it doesn't mean most times when you rush in, it will crash or still be successful.
True.
But from what you're saying it is safer to give it time before you can propose. Having said that, what can be considered too long or too short before a proposal?
Oh, well, I would also say it depends as well.
Okay.
6, 12 months.
Is 6 months too short or too long?
I think it's just enough time. I think
6 months is enough time to propose to someone.
The time to propose to somebody. 6 to 12 months.
Okay.
That's an okay time. That's enough time. You understand? But to play it safe, you can extend that. That's what I feel.
How long?
2 years, I guess. Yeah.
So the girl should just be carrying your ring on her finger for nothing.
Well, you mean when the person's
before, like proposing, you have to be with the person
before you
proposing.
Proposing or popping the question or getting engaged. You understand?
So you mean that if I stay with a girl for 3-4 years,
I didn't say 3-4 years.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
And I don't propose, is that too long a time?
Most likely.
What do you think?
It is too much a time.
Too much when you stay up to 4 years.
What are people doing for 4 years and you don't know where you want to go to?
Wow.
I guess.
But sometimes you know where you want to go to, but you're just like, you're not mentally ready.
Then set the person free.
Right?
Because I see relationships that they've been together for 7 years only to break up.
Yes.
What is that?
You're very right there.
Why do you now?
You're very right. Okay, so I see a girl and then 6 months, 3 months, is that supposed to be too short a time to propose?
3 months too short, probably.
3 months is short.
Yes. But 6 12 months, like you said,
Mm.
it's fine.
It's an appropriate
It's
time.
enough
It's
time.
not a time that when you propose, your parents will be like, why did you just propose
So
to somebody
fast,
you just
like
met this year, and you're proposing to marry already? So we're looking at within 6 to 12 months is not too short.
It's enough time.
Anything less than 6 months is short.
Supposedly,
Is that what we're saying?
Supposedly, yes.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Now, what are the factors to consider? You want to propose to someone. What do you need to put, into consideration before you can propose to the person?
I'm not proposing. I'm the female.
Okay, now you just got me there. Oh, who says women cannot propose?
That's true.
Everything-
Who said so?
It's not like,
Is it society?
it's calm down first. It's not like women can't propose.
Okay.
But the society we live in,
Society.
and majority of the men tend to make it feel like, oh, why she rushing, why she desperate,
Wow.
and then women don't just want to be tagged as, because you might not be popular, you might be a nobody
Okay.
on the streets of Instagram, but you propose to a man, they will carry your gist, everybody will know who you are because of that thing, and then you start to see a lot of hate comments, and then God forbid the man should now say no.
So a woman should not attempt to propose. Because
can't
I will
see-
find it very fascinating when a woman goes on her knees and asks me, would you marry me?
It depends on the both of us. I just feel like it depends on whoever the woman is with. If you see it as okay, you're sure that this person's answer is going to be a yes, you are 100% sure.
So we have to be sure before we can
You have
propose.
to be. For the
Both
men,
ways.
no, for the men, you don't have to be sure. You
What?
can because
Wow.
Oh, we don't have to be sure.
So
because
we don't have to play safe.
Does he not propose tomorrow? Okay, we have to be sure.
and
try my
for the
best.
women, I just feel like you have to be sure that his answer is going to be yes, and then also stick to doing it privately if you
Okay.
want to do that kind of thing. And because sometimes guys are slow to taking the next step, maybe because they are shy or they are not sure, and then you just have to. In a relationship with somebody, the woman can be the outgoing person,
Okay.
and he could be the laid back, shy.
Okay.
So if she's the one proposing in that kind of situation, is that, she knows that this is what both of them want, but he's not ready to take that step yet because there's still time.
Okay, but when you look at that, I'll come back to you with that same question. But are there ways a woman can make us know that, hey, I am ready? If you propose now, I would say yes. Like, is there a green light that since you cannot go on your knees and propose and raise us the ring, how about showing us some things? What are those things that we need to look at to know that, hey, it's time to propose?
First of all, women are complicated.
That's life itself.
100%.
Women can give you all the green lights, and you would not say, okay, she's showing me, and you will do it. And you'll be on your own.
Wow.
Because she will tell you, did I come out rightly to tell you that I was ready?
Do we have to wait for a woman to say, I'm ready to be married?
You don't. That is why it's good to have God in your relationship.
Thank you.
Because if you have God, you would not end up with an anyhow type of woman.
How? God doesn't just write these things in
No,
front
God
of us
wants,
these
but
days,
then
so-
if you pray that, oh, Father Lord in heaven, this is this person that has been entering my eye. I want to see where things go. That is for the dating aspect
Okay.
now. As a child of God, he's not going to want to just give you somebody that is going to use you, break up with you, and just drop you.
Okay.
Whoever he gives you, when you start to talk and everything, and you now want to take the next step, you go back to God. Father, I have reached this stage with this woman. Oh, can I? And then one way or the other, God gives signs. He will give you signs, except you're overlooking.
Yeah.
And when he gives you the sign that, okay, this is a go ahead, you will start to have those conversations. Oh, where do you see us in the next 5 years? How many children do you want to live here? If the woman wants to be a housewife after maybe the first 2 children. When people start having those conversations, you can start talking about, oh, do you want a public proposal
Or a secret one.
or a secret one? And she can be giving you hints of how she wants her proposal to be like,
I like that.
or she saw something, or she wants it to be like this, or she's an emotional person, you want to get her to cry. So with those little points.
We have to get them to cry.
Yeah, we have to.
No,
You don't just have to cry on their
Women
own.
can be
We have
love.
to get them
They can
to
be
cry.
work.
Well, that's a good point. There are signs with what you just said. Now, if I'm a wise guy, I will understand when a woman begins to say certain things that would make me know that hey, she's ready, and I could just pop the question. But now, Dozie, you know, what are the factors, you know, to consider before you actually propose to a woman?
During the course of dating,
Yeah.
you have to understand your partner.
Okay.
You have to know what the person likes.
Okay.
You have to know what the person wants. You have to be precise about what the person wants. So,
Okay.
in the course of dating, you have to really know that okay, this is how my partner is.
Okay.
So both of you can be on the same page.
We have to be on the same
Exactly,
page.
you have to be on the same page. So
And you
that
said that because there are times you make this proposal and then somebody tells you no, I'm
Yeah.
not ready. Why are you proposing to me?
exactly. That's why
Okay.
sometimes I also think that proposal should be talked about before the actual proposal. Let me try and elaborate on that.
Please do.
Sometimes it shouldn't be directly said that okay, in the next couple of days I'm going to propose to you. Try and pop up questions like okay, what do you think about marriage, and then questions relating to that, and then you would know whether or not this person is ready.
Or like a question like, do you think I could make a good
Exactly.
husband?
Yeah, something like that. You don't have to make it. Do you think both of us could make a great couple? You know, don't have to make it so obvious. Okay, this guy might propose to me. You understand? So things like that could make you have a slight idea of what is to come. Yes.
And you know, sometimes if we really pay attention, we could hear when women propose. They don't have to go on their knees and drop
They're
the ring or
always-
pop the question.
Exactly.
But a woman could just look at you and be like, I hope this is not what you're going to do when you're paying my bride price.
They'll do it in such a playful manner.
Yeah,
and
that's a proposal already.
And then-
But you don't have to wait for it to be so official.
And then when you do it, they just tell you no. Why? Why is that? Like she said, women are complicated.
Sorry,
Okay,
he said
let me hear
something.
that.
He said something concerning asking the woman if he's going to make a good husband. African men, they are not it, because they can be talking to you, giving you all the signs. You will now enter and see that he's getting married on Saturday after people have been together for 2 years.
Wow.
God.
So what you're saying is there are times that this deception could come in
Yes.
sometimes.
Definitely.
Yes.
And then one has to be ready. And that is the reason when you're marrying when you're in a relationship with somebody, you have to be on guard. You have to know the person deeply, and you have to be totally convinced that you're with the right person.
Yeah.
Because there are people out there who are just ready to mess other people's lives up.
Actually.
And if you're not wise, if you're carried away by the physical things, definitely it's going to consume you.
Definitely.
But if you are in a relationship and you do the right things, especially the things spelled out in the Bible, you wouldn't even have a reason to worry about that. If your relationship is not godly in the first place, there is a question to it. There is a problem that you definitely are going to face in time to come. But having said all this, proposal, what to consider, and all that kind of, should a proposal be a surprise? Let me ask you, Divine. Should proposing to a girl that I've been dating with, should it be a surprise?
Yes.
Why should it be a surprise?
Well, for me, I would want to be swept off my feet. I don't want to be expecting it. I want, when it happens, I'll just see good on it and I'll start to cry immediately without even saying anything.
Wow.
Now, because those little things, they are sweet, it's memories. But if you go ahead and tell me, I'll be expecting it.
Wow. Okay, so you don't have to even give the sign that, hey, I'm likely to propose to you soon or something. It just has to come as a surprise.
Even if, what if you give me the sign and I start to fidget ahead of time, that what if I'm not going to make a good wife? What if this, what if, and then I might have been ready, but because you have given me that sign, doubt will now be in my head.
Wow. Even if you're ready.
Even if I'm ready.
Let me hear from you. Should proposal be a surprise?
Not completely.
Okay.
It's going to relate to what I said earlier on.
Okay.
It kind of has to be talked about.
It has to be talked about.
Not directly, like
Not
I
directly,
said.
okay.
I mentioned before, you could ask something like, hey, do you think that I could make a good husband? Something like that. And then, like she said, you might be fidgeting, the girl might be fidgeting and all that. But at the same time, I feel to avoid embarrassment, you need to talk about it, but not directly. So you know what is to come. The only thing that should surprise or frighten the girl would be the fact that she knows that she's heading to the next level.
Okay, and then the manner too. Some people could propose by putting a ring on a brand new car seat. Some could put the ring in an ice cream. And the weird way people propose these days.
True,
what if the girl swallows the ring?
That usually never happens. But
and then the reigning one that I've seen recently is that you arrange a very unpleasant situation whereby a police comes and accuses you of maybe being a criminal, and then they're about to take you away. And then everything looks so real. The girl is crying, and then they're taking you, and then all of a sudden, you just go on your knees.
You don't.
I will
you
walk
really don't
out
know,
of that place.
You really don't know how that might turn out,
for?
because your partner might be very, very, very angry or not so comfortable about that method of proposal.
But these days, those are the things. People just want to lace the whole proposal thing with drama.
I feel like they should just stick to private but not secret.
Yes.
Just
Private
do it indoors.
but not secret.
Yes. Just do it with your family members, your friends, close people. Propose. And even if she says no, maybe she's not, like I said earlier on, she's not 20% ready. She would give you her reasons. And I don't feel like she would say no because she's not as if she doesn't like you or she's not in love with you, but she's not just ready at that point. So she can also say yes and tell you we'll push the wedding. Because
the length of time.
Yes, because I'm not fully ready to take that next step. But then to go and do it in public, even the whole police ice cream one,
too much of a stretch sometimes.
So what about, there are people who believe that I have to do my proposal in public, so that if you have a skeleton in your cupboard, it's all out there for people to see.
2 words.
Completely
unnecessary.
Completely unnecessary.
It doesn't really matter if you do it in public.
That might be the day they will chop their own breakfast.
Because you might put it in public and then a lot of issues are
everything just arises
from it.
Out of nowhere.
There are times that you're so convinced that your partner is ready for marriage. Your partner wants to go all the way. And then you come up with this proposal, and then a proposal is turned down. How should a partner handle rejection? Very tough one, yeah? Let me put that question to him, since you do not propose. How would you handle a situation whereby you propose and then you're turned down?
That's a very tough one, to be honest. But the whole healing process, it's not going to happen instantly. It's in your baby steps.
But there and then, make the proposal, and no, I'm sorry.
At that point, I don't think there is much you can do. But to start with, you really need to accept that this thing actually happened. You have to accept, as hard as it may be, you have to accept that this thing happened. What am I going to do next? What am I going to do with my time? What am I going to do with my life? You understand? You could refocus on other relationships. You could build new ones as well. You understand? You could.
But should a turned down proposal, does it signify the end to the relationship?
It doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship is ended. It could just mean that the partner is not ready at the time.
At the time,
Yes. And then that could cause some kind of pause in the relationship. They might say, okay, let's just take a break. And that break could lead to maybe separation afterwards. But it's not always the case.
Why a break? The time you turn me down, it means I have to do extra work to get you convinced.
It really depends on the kind of people that the couple.
Because if you have been with me all along, I haven't proposed, you're still with me, you haven't broken up, and then I propose and you tell me no, it doesn't mean the no is for the relationship to end. I think a lot of people get that wrong.
True.
It could be that, hey, there is something I'm still working on. There is something I need you to work on. So if a relationship is turned down, I believe people can still come together and ask why, what happened? Is it me? Is it something I'm doing? Are you battling with something? Can we sit down and sort this out?
What would reduce the damage of the hurt would be doing this in private, because if that was in public, it's something else.
But regardless, even if it's in public, I believe people who say they are in love should still bring themselves back home. Where did we go wrong?
But
what happened?
Men have
I think
egos.
it's a thing with ego.
Yes.
That's the word.
Men have egos.
Okay.
So I feel like once you turn them down in public, they just flare up. They do. At that point, that same day, they might end up going to go and do something they would regret.
But I believe we will say, you guys don't know the hit because you don't do the proposal in public.
Exactly.
Wait until we turn you down in public, and then you can
That's
judge.
why he said.
And then the embarrassment from being turned down in public will make that process, that healing process, harder to, you know.
Harder.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
But let me get it. Now, how can you turn down a proposal in a very nice and acceptable
Public.
way without hurting us?
In public.
Yes.
There's no nice way to it. The no is the no. You just, because the only nice way to do it is say yes in public.
Why not just collect the ring instead of putting it in your face? Just pocket it.
That's basically,
And we can talk about it.
everybody
no.
around, they will even make a whole story about it. It
Wow.
will just be, or you can
It's
you
still
just laugh and say it was a prank.
It's still a no,
YouTube
but it's still a
prank.
no, but it's indirect.
We just want to know how you can reject this thing and then we are not angry.
That the only way is to say, collect the ring on your finger. When you go home, you give the ring back and you talk about it, saving the person
The embarrassment.
the embarrassment in public,
Mm.
and then you talk about it indoors. That's the nicest way to do the rejection.
All right, I think we got the point there. But when somebody turns down a proposal, there are still chances to try, build ourselves. And there are people who know that they haven't positioned themselves to be accepted as a husband. And then they go ahead to propose, putting the girl on the spot. Something has to be done about that. And when you do not like a guy, or the guy has done something that is not forgivable or unforgivable, and or something you cannot tolerate, do not reject the person with disdain. The person could be mildly, rejected with maybe even an apology. I'm so sorry, but I don't want to do this now. And there's a way that these things could be handled. So, turning down a proposal cannot always be the end of a marriage. It is a call for self-evaluation. It is a call for you to look into your partner's eyes and ask, is there something I am missing that I haven't put together? Could you talk to me about it? Is it something I could work on for us to have a better chance at building a better relationship? These talks are very, very important. And if you're not sure about being a good husband, please do not put a girl on the spot and make a proposal. When you position yourself as a reliable spouse, trust me, proposal comes very easy. And sometimes the girl might even lure you into that proposal before you know it. It's on this note that we draw the curtain on the program today, hoping you join us again another time. God bless you today.